Michael, how are you?
Very well, thank
Nice
you.
to see you here in Lisbon. How are you enjoying the city so far?
So far, so good. I just flew in last night, first and foremost, off to VNTRs for this summit. So
Nice. Where did you fly in from?
Canada. So we're based in Canada, but we invest all around the world. We're in I think 70 countries now. But trying to deploy capital according to global GDP. We're a tiny bit overweight in Europe and North America, tiny bit underweight in South America and Southeast Asia, where we want to be in Africa and India.
So tell us a little bit more about Loyal VC. I know diversification is one of your USPs,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
But just tell us more about that.
Sure. So, look, our strategy is to be the funder of choice in three global networks. The first one is alumni of INSEAD Business School, so the top producer of kind of unicorns outside of Silicon Valley. Founders Institute, which is the world's largest pre-seed accelerator. They graduate 1,000 companies in 180 cities. And our own network of over 200 LPs, which are predominantly individuals, family offices, and GPs from other VC funds.
Nice. So you don't particularly focus on an area or sector. You're more to do with the global networks that you talk about.
Yeah, so I would say we have a zeitgeist of what's being born out there. We ask our networks to send us their best and brightest. So these folks are often at the coalface of innovation. So, 5 years ago it was more blockchain companies, and recently it's been more AI companies. And 5 years from now it'll be, I don't know, asteroid mining or longevity or whatever it might be. Since we are typically kind of first institutional money in, we are getting access to those entrepreneurs. They're vetted by our network. We make a small initial investment, and then we believe that time reveals all. So it's kind of like paid due diligence. We are in touch with these founders founder CEOs on a monthly basis, and that's senior people. That's myself or my partner or one of our 15 venture partners, which is located all around the world. And one of the things we really offer, because we're really about building this reciprocity with the entrepreneurs, building this loyalty, is we have 1,300 currently advisors all around the world. They're such an important part of our model. They're available at no charge to the entrepreneurs. We pay them 20% of the fund's carry. So again, you're not going to find that.
That's quite a unique model. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Well, look, so Kamal and I were both lifelong entrepreneurs. He did his, I like to call these corporate tours of duty. He did his at Bain. I did mine at a big Canadian bank. But we've been entrepreneurs, and that's kind of in our blood. We were active angel investors. We mentored, hundreds of companies before we started the fund. And we really built a fund that we would want to take money from as entrepreneurs. We'd want to invest in as angels, and we'd want to advise for as advisors. So on the advisor piece, I like the idea of actually, being paid for value that I create, and that value in the Loyal's case, it's judged by the founder. So that's a very important part of our model. On the investor piece, I like to joke that typical 10-year lifespan. To an entrepreneur, if you're gonna lock my money away for 10 years, that's like 3 eternities, not just one. So the idea that with an open-ended fund that we're running, that if you need it, you can take your capital out earlier than the 10 years, or you can keep it in for longer. It really appeals to me from the investor side of things. From the entrepreneur side of things, the fact that our incentives stay with the entrepreneur and they don't change as we approach the end of fund life and are encouraging them to make an early exit or take money off the table. So for us, it's really aligning what maximizes that long-term value in the company.
Interesting. So what kind of people do you want to speak to?
This is interesting. As the entrepreneur, it's typical you dream of that one LP that says, Nico, whenever you need money, just come to me. I'm going to write you a check. Fundraising is a total waste of time. Get back to building the business. Forget about it. I'll take care of you. That's not the ideal investor for Loyal. For Loyal, smart money is investors that can, but don't necessarily have to, contribute more than money. That is, they have a network, they have an understanding of an industry, maybe their family was active in that industry. So building that global tribe of investors, I think, is smart money for me. So we raise every 90 days, and I am constantly looking to add investors who understand, appreciate what we do, are interested in the diversification, are interested in the flexibility of our offering, but also want to take advantage of these amazing entrepreneurs that are in many cases, making the world suck less and solving some big problems and making good money. And doing that in an innovative way. So we have like 6 GPs from other VC funds that, as you said, it is a novel and different approach that appreciate the differences in how we do it. We resonate very well with exited entrepreneurs in terms of how we treat the entrepreneurs, the ethos and the terms we often go with for entrepreneurs. So it's really finding and building out that tribe of investors.
And what's your minimum check size?
Minimum check size is 100K. It's a Canadian LPGP structure.
Okay.
The advantage of Canada is Canada has no withholding tax. So that means your tax issues are between you and your government wherever they are in the world. So we have LPs from all over the world. It is a USD denominated fund. Minimum 100K USD.
USD. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So, final question. I'm asking everyone this. You kind of alluded to it before, but we had crypto, we had AI.
Yeah.
What's the next big thing, in your opinion?
So that's a tough question. We try not to be crystal ball or thesis driven. You can go all in on something and get fantastic returns, or you can get horrible returns. Our strategy is to deliver above average VC returns. And the diversification really smooths out things. So I know I didn't answer the question.
No,
I like ag tech. I think there's some really interesting things happening in ag tech and cellular agriculture, in kind of digital and mental health. Those are all very interesting kind of zones for me, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah.
I hope you have a great rest of the summit.
Great. Thank you very much.